What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, this is your man, this is your boy, Sealz the Man. And I'm back at you with another video. And this time I'm gonna do something a little different. I wanna get to know y'all just a little bit better. So I'm gonna do a little Q&A. I'm gonna try to get to as many questions as I can. I got a lot of questions when I asked you all for questions on here, on YouTube, and on other platforms. Also, if you don't know, I got a dedicated Instagram page to Sealz the Man. Check it out, instagram.com/Sealz the Man. Also, if you like understanding, if you're interested in understanding the mind of a good man, make sure you follow my channel. It only makes sense. Like, comment, subscribe, share any of my videos. You have my permission to share this love and knowledge to anyone you think may benefit from this. And now it's time to see what's on your minds. Let's see what we got. First question is, when a woman walks away in a classy manner because she is not getting what she needs from a man, what goes through his mind? Will he miss her? You see, this is a loaded question, right? Because it depends on the type of man. So as you know, on this channel, I'll talk about understanding the mind of a good man. But understanding the mind of a good man, you have to understand the mind of men who are misled. There's two types of men. There's good men, and then there's men of the opposite thinking, the opposite lifestyle, the opposite mindset. So when you walk away from a man who has the opposite mindset of a good man, in most cases, that man is not gonna, one, not care, two, increase his jealousy or his possessiveness of you, or three, hurt his ego. And as you see, all three of those traits are not qualities of good men. All those three traits are not positive things, just nasty. And on the other side of the coin, if you had to leave a man, a good man, because he wasn't able to provide for you, most likely his feelings are disappointment, because good men tried their best. And if they failed to provide for their woman, then they will feel like a failure. And with failure comes heartbreak, because since he's a good man, that means he cared about you. So him losing you, that's gonna be a big deal for him. But the positive side to that is, a good man knows how to learn from his mistakes. And I know this from experience. I wasn't always considered a good man or a great man. Like, I made a lot of mistakes in my life that led me to the point I'm in now. Some people learn from their mistakes earlier in life. Some people learn from mistakes later in life. So rejection sometimes leads to growth. Another good question. How can I keep a good man's hopes and spirits high when the world seems as if they don't care about him? For this question, I suggest you constantly remind who he is. Constantly remind him of his value. Constantly remind him of his worth. In this world we living in, you have to match or better the negativity that's coming in your life, the negativity that's impeding your brain constantly, every day. And for some people to constantly be barraged with just negativity every single day can make them fall victim to it. If they don't have the discipline, if they don't have the support, if they're not, wired that way to take that kind of pressure every single day. So if you match that negativity that he's receiving every single day with positivity, and it doesn't have to be a forceful barrage, just, throw it here and there throughout the day, while he's in the house, or text him while he's at work, how proud you are of him and the good job he's doing at home with the kids and with you, and how he looks great, and point out the little thing that he does that you love. You have to battle negativity with positivity. If your cup is being overfilled with negativity, then guess what? Negativity is going to spill all over your life. In my quest to get the big question as to why people do the things they do, I haven't gotten anything as of yet, but I would like to ask you, how can one be attractive and also discern a thirsty guy from a kingly guy? One tip that I suggest you take note of is the first thing he says to you. If the first thing he says to you, if the first approach he gives you is off of a thirsty type of vibe, like he's trying to get something out of you without even trying to know you, then it's a high probability that he's a thirsty guy. When a kingly man comes to you, he comes with respect, and it's usually something that makes you think. Thirsty guys are usually straight to the point or disrespectful. Kings know what they want, but they are disciplined. Their posture is correct. But back to the first things they say. In most cases, a thirsty guy talks in short-term communication, as a kingly guy talks in long-term, invested communication. I mean, think about it. The terms explain themselves. When you are thirsty, you need water, or you need that something right now. You need it quick. But when you are a king, you are not thirsty. You are willing to invest. You are willing to farm. You are willing to plant the seed, and you are willing to grow. Therefore, you can't be quick with that. That takes time. That's a long-term investment. So pay attention to the tone of the conversation. Pay attention to the energy and the vibe. And even later on down the line, a thirsty man will start to show his true colors even if he gave you a good front. Because once again, he needs his thirst quenched. It's going to happen soon. Whatever he's trying to get out of you, he's going to expose it to you soon. A kingly guy, an investor, a farmer is willing to wait. He's willing to grow with you. So make sure you got that energy detector on. What do you do when your friends and family and everyone seems like they are going against you? So first, I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you to evaluate, and I want you to make sure that you're not the one in the wrong. Because a lot of times, myself included, I realized I was the one in the wrong, and that's why people were, not messing with me or stop talking to me. And then I was the one that had to come to them and apologize and explain myself. So we got to realize sometimes we're the one at fault. But if you're not the one at fault, then I want you to always remember this. My grandma raised me in church, and she used to always tell me, the enemy is the thief of joy, and a thief does not rob an empty house. You have something in you that people want or are jealous of. So be careful, stay away from the negative ones, find and get around better people in better circles, but most of all, keep shining. Do not change if you are not the one at fault. Do not change if people don't like you because of who you are. Do not dumb yourself down if people do not understand you. As long as you are living through good, as long as you are living with your heart, as long as you are living with light, you are living right. And from personal experience, from people who do you wrong, they'll always try to find a way to slide themselves back into your life. How do young men and women learn to treat each other well in relationships when they have never seen people that model that behavior, mainly due to generational curses? I know this personally. I didn't grow up in a lovey-dovey household. Like, my family loved me, but I didn't see like a lot of happy relationships in my environment. What it took for me to see love-filled relationships was exposure. Going out and seeing different types of families, different types of cultures, different types of lifestyles. When I was exposed to that type of love, affection, the different ways people have relationships, I knew what I wanted. So my advice for young men and women is to be open, to be exposed to love, to be exposed to healthy relationships, because you only know what you know. That also involves having a dependable and trustworthy and good mentor. Usually mentors are in good relationships. Now, once you're exposed to healthy relationships, this is the hardest part. You have to make the decision to break the generational curse. You have to be the one to say, you know what, it stops here. I'm tired of seeing unhealthy relationships. I'm tired of seeing sad and forced marriages. I want to be that change. And you got to have that mindset with anything you want to change in life. Any generational curse you want to break, you got to have this mindset that here and now, I want this. But we can't make you want it. Your parents can't make you want it. I can't make you want it. You have to sincerely want that change. Hi, Sealz the Man. Hi. Got a question to ask. Do we still have men who have genuine love for women in this generation of ours? Absolutely yes. In fact, you are watching one right now. But you know the sad thing is, the mess up thing is, negativity sells papers. Negativity brings money. So you will always see the bad and always see the negative more than you will ever see the positive and the good. On social media, on TV, movies, TV shows, you will always see stories and movies and TV shows about men hating women. These types of men in situations will always be more publicized than men who actually do love women. You'll always see more music videos about men disrespecting women because it sells. And that is the world we live in, unfortunately. And even though this could seem so like dreadful and uninspiring sometimes, that you constantly see this every day, it starts to make you feel like there aren't men out there that love women. But I promise you there is. Bad will always sell more. And this is the same situation for good men and men who think the opposite. So it will always be publicized more. So it will always be shown more. So the good is always the minority. And it sucks. And that is also the law of the universe. There cannot be something without the other. There cannot be one half without its other half. So even when the world seems like the whole world is bad, even when it seems like all men are no good, remember that there cannot just be all men no good and the whole world can't be bad. There has to be good men. There has to be good relationships. There has to be good marriages. It's out there. I promise you. What are the top 5 reasons couples dissolve their relationships? Here's my top 5 plus a bonus. You know I like to give bonuses too. Number 1, broken trust, lack of communication, lust, lack of discipline, and lack of intimacy. My bonus is compatibility and the acceptance of each other's differences. I'm gonna quick fire each one of these. Broken trust is pretty self-explanatory. There's no relationship without trust. Can't have that. Even a seed of doubt can ruin the whole relationship. How can you know each other without talking to each other? How can you know what each other likes and dislikes if you don't talk about them? There's also a fear of communication. Try to overcome your fear of communication with your loved one, because it could definitely backfire on you down the line. And also, communication involves being level-headed. Instead of arguing, try to solve the situation maturely and peacefully. Talk it through. Don't talk over each other. This is all communication. Lust. Lust will take over a man and a woman's priorities. Lust can overpower a man and a woman's morals, and lust can lead to addiction. And once you have an addiction, something outside of your relationship has control over you, that thing will get control over your relationship. You don't want that. Lack of discipline, not being able to manage your finances, not being able to manage yourself around other people, not being able to manage your emotions. Discipline is about managing. If you don't have discipline, you can't manage yourself. Therefore, you can't manage the relationship you're in. It takes two to tango. Lack of intimacy. Now, I'm not saying you have to do things every day or every week, or you have to kiss and show PDA. That's not the whole being of intimacy. Intimacy can be listening to your favorite music with your loved one, going to the park and just walking and talking, holding hands, having insiders with your loved one at a public setting or a dinner table. There's so many forms of intimacy. It's not just about touch, but if you lose that touch of intimacy, if you lose that desire to want to be intimate with your loved one, then that relationship might be on the road to failure. And my bonus, compatibility, being able to accept each other's differences. You gotta remember, each one of y'all is different. And then most times opposites attract. And that might be the reason why y'all together, because opposites attract. But you also have to remember you're opposites. So that means y'all share traits that are totally different from each other. So you gotta be able to accept what makes them unique, what makes them different, the reasons you love him or her. You gotta remember that your differences play a part in not only the positive things in your relationship, but the negatives as well. As the saying goes, you can't have the cake and eat it too. Well, it kind of relates to this. You can't just take the positive things that makes her different and the reasons why you love her or him and not understand the negative differences. But the difference in a successful and a failed relationship is that you don't settle on the negative differences. How to walk away from someone in public eye without hurting his pride and ego, aka optics. Now, this is a slippery slope because there's crazy people out there. I'm gonna be real with you. There's crazy men out there. Even if you say the most respectful way of no to some men, they will take it as a bad thing and they will take it as a rejection. And in a lot of sad situations, put out their frustration on the woman. I don't want to speak for all women in situations, but I'm just speaking from experience from seeing men and how they take rejection in a lot of cases. I don't entertain foolishness. I don't entertain disrespect. So in my opinion, if you're serious about something, be serious about it. Don't entertain it. Don't play around. Don't open a window or a door for anyone to feel like you are accepting what they're giving you. To be real with you, it is not your business or your concern about how he feels about his pride or ego after you say no. I don't care if it's in the public eye or the private eye. Never try to concern yourself with someone else's opinions, especially when you don't know them. And especially when they coming at you crazy, coming at you wrong, and coming at you disrespectful. So, live by your words and live by your beliefs. If you believe in a certain thing, live by it. Don't play with it. Don't play with the devil. Don't play with the enemy. Because a real man is not going to get upset because he's rejected. Because he knows rejection is part of life. It's the ill-minded men that have a problem with rejection. Because they think everything is handed to them on a plate. And that they can get their way with anybody. That ain't life. So, don't settle and don't feel like you ever have to be forced in a situation. And also protect yourself. What does a good man require? Right up my alley. A good man requires a woman with a good heart. The willingness. That is what a good man needs. A good-hearted woman, she's willing to ride with him. She's willing to build with him. She's willing to love him. And she's willing to hold him accountable. Because good men are usually on the right track. Good men are usually, they come from something. So they know what's there to lose. Good men usually know what they want. But in a lot of cases, they just need that good-hearted woman to direct them. To show them a side of life they never even knew existed. A good man just wants to be better. And in my opinion, a good man cannot be his best version without a good woman. And my last question, do men like when women make the first move? Now this is another tricky one. I find that this is based on the man and is based on his upbringings and is also based on his culture. See, me, I don't mind you initiating. I don't mind you making the first move. I love to see a woman who is self-empowered, a boss, makes her own decisions without depending on someone else or something else. I love to see it. But there's also men out there who are culturally based, where the men is in charge of the relationship. And these type of men will take offense to women who try to initiate, or, example, trying to pay the bill on a dinner date, or trying to make a decision in the household because they were raised that way in that culture. So there isn't a one-fit-all answer for this question, because it literally depends on how the man was raised and his beliefs. There's also a different type of man out there. A man with low self-esteem. A man who is intimidated by a successful woman. Like, I've had men tell me like, yo, I can't date a woman that's taller than me. Or I just can't date a woman who tries to bag me or tries to approach me and get me. And I'm just like, why? But then when you think about it, it's deep rooted, because when you are confident, you don't worry about things like that, about height and etc. But you gotta look out for those. This was really good. This was a different type of video, but I think it will help you all. And I hope to do this in the future sometime. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to all the questions, but I got y'all on the next one. So make sure y'all take care of yourselves. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. And always, thank you. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.